Hi, my name is Kylie and Phillip, and today I'm going to be talking about teacher salaries. Mallory Heath is a 30-year-old teacher based in Arizona. She teaches English, and it's what she really likes to do. When she's not in the classroom teaching, she's looking at seminars or different lectures and ways to make learning more fun for her students, and she's always trying to do what's best for them. However, in October of 2016, Mallory had an aphasia migraine that prevented her from reading and speaking the way she normally does for a very short period of time. Instead of going to the emergency room like most people would have, she decided against it because she knew she wouldn't be able to afford the bill. She said that paying for things such as rent is hard for her, and there's no way she could ever have a savings account because what she earns, she usually has to spend on basic living conditions. Mallory is just one example of this happening to teachers. A lot of teachers end up not being able to afford what they need, and they're just as passionate as Mallory about their job, but like her, they end up having to leave the field no matter how they don't want to because they need to be able to afford to pay for their living situations, and teaching just isn't going to do that for them. States should increase pay for K-12 teachers. There's a teacher shortage nationwide, and positions are getting harder and harder to fill because less and less people want to be teachers and enter the education field due to salary. Many teachers feel underappreciated. This underappreciation comes from different things such as salary, support, and materials. And different schools offer different things, but a lot of materials teachers pay out of pocket, and if they don't have the salary to help them do that and pay for their normal life, then they're not going to be able to teach their students the way they want to. Matthew A. Kraft and David Blazer are professors of education and economics at Brown University. They wrote an article called Teacher and Teaching Effects on Students' Attitudes and Behaviors, where they studied different teachers and how they can affect their students. And what they found was that a teacher's emotional support and organization can help predict what their students' performances will be like. So when a teacher supports their students and they show that they really do care, they want them to succeed, it's more likely to push students to want the same, and they're going to work hard and try to be there and learn from their teachers as best as they can. But if a teacher doesn't care, or they're too stressed about trying to find out how they're going to pay for their next meal, how they're going to pay their rent, whatever they need to pay off, then they're not going to be there to support their students the way the students need them to. This often causes a lot of low job satisfaction, and job satisfaction among teachers at all levels is extremely low, and they often feel that they deserve more. Jennifer Bryan Corral is a professor of counseling and educational psychology at the University of Nevada. She set up interviews with 103 different teachers from 10 different schools, and all the schools were from low economic backgrounds, medium economic backgrounds, or a high economic background. And she found that a lot of the teachers were satisfied with their job, but it was because of what they were doing with their students, not because of what they were given. And they all had the same problems in common, and those problems were salary and the way they were made to run their classrooms. A lot of teachers aren't given the freedom you may think they are. They have to follow a curriculum, and while they can choose how they teach it, oftentimes they're evaluated or monitored to make sure that they're doing it efficiently and their students are actually learning. And most teachers would like to do it in a different way, but they're unable to because they don't have the materials they would need to do it in that way. And a lot of schools don't offer very many materials, so it's hard for them to do what they need to do for their students. So teachers can receive slightly higher pay as they begin to gain experience, or the higher education they have, they can receive more pay because of that. But the starting salary for a teacher varies by state, but it's generally very low. I think right now the average starting salary in the US is $30,000. And that's for first year teachers until they start to gain a little bit more experience and trust within their school. Linda Darling Hammond wrote an article called Keeping Good Teachers, Why It Matters and What Leaders Can Do. She's a professor of education emeritus at Stanford University, and she found that new teachers can be just as valuable as experienced teachers because they're eager to learn from their colleagues and use new skills in the classroom to help students. And so this eagerness that they bring helps older experienced teachers remember why they started teaching, what they like about it, and it just boosts morale all around with the students and the teachers, and it just makes the school a more enjoyable place for everyone. And they're getting the teachers that they're helping to remember why they started get paid more than they do, even though they're doing just as much, if not more. And so some states provide slight pay increases as teachers begin to gain experience, but according to the characteristics of public elementary and secondary school teachers in the U.S., these are results from the 2015 and 2016 National Teacher and Principal Survey. They found that salary is generally very low all across the U.S., and it was an average of $60,477 a year. And just so you guys can kind of see like where that lies, that salary is equivalent to a personal trainer or event planner. And if you look at like the amount of work that teachers do, they kind of deserve a lot more than that because they're the ones that got this personal trainer or event planner to where they are. And without teachers, none of us would be in school today. We wouldn't have been able to come to college, and they just kind of make everyone, like they set them on their path. Increasing the salaries of teachers would overall increase job satisfaction and the overall success in student performance. Linda Darling-Hammond and Ann Podolsky, they wrote an article called Breaking the Cycle of Teacher Shortages, What Kind of Policies Can Make a Difference? And what they found was that the determinants of the high turnovers and policies to recruit and keep teachers was that teachers are paid 30% less than college graduates. So our starting salary is $30,000 as a teacher, and we're paid 30% less than other college graduates that are doing the same education path we are. And they're often not given the resources they need to teach efficiently. So again, they can't buy what they need to teach the students in the way they want to, and that causes a lot of them to have some problems with how their schools are run, and it just causes them to give up. When teachers are satisfied with their job, it directly impacts student performance. So by increasing pay, the teachers would have higher job satisfaction with their students and with their job, and it would overall increase the success of students and make the school a more fun environment to be in. Anna Toropova, Eva Myberg, and Stephen Johansson wrote an article called Teacher Job Satisfaction, The Importance of School Working Conditions and Teacher Characteristics. And members of the Department of Education at the University of Gothenburg, they found that school working conditions had a direct impact on job satisfaction among teachers. So not being able to run, they wanted to run the way they wanted to, and just having a bunch of like restrictions on them caused a lot of teachers to not enjoy their job. So overall, if they were able to have the salary they needed to buy the resources they needed, then they would have a lot more fun with their job. They'd be able to teach the way they wanted to. So increasing the salary will just overall benefit teachers and students.